So Randy, since you're on, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, Randy, to the group?
Yes. Everyone can hear me. Let me do this real fast as well.
There you are.
Hey, Randy. There I am. Hi, Randy Washington is my name. It's good to see everyone. I am serving at FreedomWorks Reentry and Recovery Services. We are located in North Minneapolis. We are excited to announce an expansion that we're in the middle of just north of us on Lindale Avenue. We have purchased and have been delivering services since last Saturday to another 44-bed GRH facility. We're in the midst of renovating that and fitting it to better fit the clientele, the population that we are looking to serve, individuals who are transitioning out of corrections or jail, and those who are working with recovery. So I'm excited to be here at R3, and I wish that I could be there in person. I think I'm going to intend to do that next time because I see so many beautiful people this morning. So it's good to see everyone.
Good to see you too, Randy. Go ahead, Steve.
Hi, I'm Steve Peterson with Rain Homes and Firebase Ministries, and I wanted to be there in person too, but I made a boo-boo and scheduled a run with Ruby's, so I'm working for Ruby's, but I'm listening to you guys.
Great, good to have you here today, Steve. We're going to go ahead and get started with the presentation. All right, everybody?
Awesome. I hear you loud and clear.
Great. Pay attention to the road.
I will do that. Otherwise, John's wife will get mad at me.
Okay. We're gonna mute you.
He has an accountability partner. It's my wife.
Okay.
No speeding.
Yeah, there you go. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started, Bob. I'm gonna hit the share screen button. Let me see what I need to do here. Yeah, we're gonna give it a try. Let's see. And we're gonna do share screen. This has got to go to you though, is the thing. You've got to go to your share screen button. And then I have to go and pin you as the host.
Okay, so here I am.
I'm going to make you the host.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Lucky you. No pressure, Bob. That means he's got to pay what you're going.
Yeah, you got to be buying lunch. So now you have to go down to the share screen button down there. You see where that green one is?
And the colorblind guy.
That guy, that's right. And go to your presentation. You have.
Okay. Now they have some.
You should be able to show the screen.
Okay.
You need to turn your volume all the way down on your computer.
Now I've got a couple of videos I want to show, so I'll need the volume.
Okay. But we need to get your screen. Okay, Matthew, can we engage your services here as Mr. Technology? I'm trying to get him, I've got him as the host, but he needs to be able to share his screen.
So, Ron, since Bob has a video, you might want to turn your sound.
Yeah, I've got mine.
So I've got the Google Slides behind that.
Try to mute me. No, want, yes.
All right,
It is.
so there's my presentation.
Where's that, right here?
That's
Yeah.
right.
Have a quick, everybody stand. Everybody stretch. Get a cookie.
Oh, boy. That's fun.
You know, I'm a big fan of Apple products.
But okay, so now it's. Okay. John went to 17 treatment programs? Yes. Does anybody know anybody that's gone to 17 treatment programs? Oh, yeah. Oh, really? All right, I'm impressed. And he loved his family, he loved football, but cocaine kept pulling back and back and back and back. And then by divine grace and sovereignty of God, he came from Patterson to Minnesota, 15 challenge. And God turned John Thomas into an incredible man of God. He crushed him, he revived him, he renewed him, he transformed him. I've never met a man that I respected more as my Christian brother than John Thomas. So thank God for Teen Challenge. And I'll let Diane go from there.
Hi, my name is Diane Baker again. Sharon Thomas sister was my sister. I said was because she passed away last June. Her response, Uncle John came out to Teen Challenge. He had been to many programs. And Sharon was pretty bitter because she felt like John came out, got healed, found God, and don't get me wrong, our family was really Christians. We raised in the church, taught Sunday school. But she was very hurt because she was left with all the bills, with all the problems, taking the kids to school, doing everything. She was extremely upset and bitter. Eventually, she got out here to Minnesota and she saw that how John was healed and, they were going to church and serving the Lord. And she kind of like did a turn around, and she felt like she had to lean into this, her family was going to work, keep her family together. But she felt like the children and the moms or the children and the dad, they had no one to support them to be with them. Okay, and she could always use this little analogy. She would say, there's been a car wreck. The ambulance comes and the ambulance takes away the one that's injured. They go away, they get healed, they get worked on, but the family is still left there to do everything. No one helps them. No one helps to guide them through their programs or assist them or just help them out. So she felt like they had to put something together for the family. And that's what they did. She and John put something together for the family. The vision was to support these family members, to tell them about Jesus Christ, to show love, and let them know they're not alone. They're not by themselves. There's people here who care, but most of all, God cares. And that's where it all started. That's where the birth of Glorybound came into play. And if you want me to continue, you have something else. Okay, as you can read, yes, it's a Christ-centered program. We support the families, we work with women, children, and we've had some men and children in our program as well. We do bring hope and healing and restoration. Actually, the name is called Glorybound Family Restoration Center. Restoration of Jesus Christ. Okay, so this hope, healing, transformation, restoration is of course all possible because of the Lord and the work of the Holy Spirit and his magnificent promises in the Bible. I'm not going to keep reading everything because you all can read.
Well, we're gonna shout out Allison,
Yeah.
because I put United Minnesota, and I mentioned R3, and I'm gonna put social services next for resources.
You can just go to the next one. Okay, that's Sharon. And that's Uncle John. John's health started to fail. Because of all the drugs and all the issues. We have open heart surgery, he lost his leg. Many things was happening, but he still kept going out there, praising God's name and telling people. Actually, he met with the Senate here and he did a long speech about what the families needed and how they could help. And he was really instrumental. Like I said, that he had quite a few health issues and he passed away in 2006. And when he passed away, people said, oh, this ministry is not going to survive, it's not going to do what it's supposed to do. And it went on, and because he was really the face of John, a big dude, burly guy, big old voice. Okay, when he walked into the room, he could hear them. So there was Sharon by herself. Uncle John died running the program. And Uncle John used to say to me, your blessing is lying in the street here in Minnesota, Diane. You need to pack up the children and come. I'm not going to Minnesota. It's cold in Jersey, but not as cold. So they kept on saying your blessings lying there. But I had a really good job. I was making over 6 figures and able to take care of my family. I was like, you don't believe this. All my family was in New Jersey because Sharon and I, that's where we grew up. So I don't know what happened. God got to me. I packed up my 3 children and came to Minnesota to help Sharon continue to run Glorybound when John passed. And that's what we were doing until last June when Sharon passed away. More help than John had. And the ministry is continuing. We're not gonna go on. Bob can talk a little more about that, the last year, and I'll get into a little more about the programs, but like I said, to navigators, I'm blessed. Because these families are blessing me, not just that Glorybound is blessing them. And it's not Sharon and John's ministry, it's
Amen.
God's ministry. It does not belong to me, does not belong to Bob. It's God's ministry. And he's not said to me, Diane, sit down, be quiet. Okay, and so that's why, and I tell everybody, Sharon was not, we had a golf tournament, getting ready to have another one last year. And I told them, Sharon keeps hitting me in my head every day. You better not stop this program. You better not stop this program. So at that meeting, I said, we're going to continue without. We have what God wants us to offer. And so that's my little speech.
Well, I just put this up here, I said filling the gap. And God has used Diane when John died and now that, and when you say died, that sounds horrible. John Thomas, Sharon Thomas, are with Jesus Christ right now, which we all long and yearn to be. Diane has been really the glue that kept the ministry going. She's been behind the scenes, and John and Sharon are out there in front, but all the stuff that she does is amazing. And the ministry would have never continued without her. I was thinking of a verse about where we are now. We suffered through COVID just like most organizations did. We couldn't meet. Sharon had more health problems than anybody I've ever known in the last couple of years of her life, finding help, and she really couldn't be involved. For everything, there's a season and a time for every matter under heaven. We are in a new season. Last September, God called me to be the executive director. We have a new governing board. We provide some very important documents that you'll see on the slide and new opportunities. We primarily in the past have received families through Minnesota Health Team Challenge, which has been wonderful. And Terry Francis was on our board, was kind of the liaison. But having come out of prison fellowship, in many ways, my heart is toward a lot of the people who are in prison. So we're looking now to work with Prison Fellowship Academy at Mile Lakes, and Shakopee. And just to think about it, the women at Shakopee, or the women anywhere incarcerated, have children, and you ask who is taking care of their children. The moms have been separated for a year, 2 years, 5 years from the babies. It's normally the grandma. And if there's the grandma, who knows, social services may take them. So new opportunities, we would love to minister with any organization that has this target population, whether it's women or men, that we can start ministering to the family. This is the verse that was on Sharon's license plate, 2 Corinthians 3:17-18. I hope you know it, maybe you've memorized it. And we all with unveiled face beholding the glory of the Lord are being transformed into the same image from one degree of glory to another, for this comes from the Lord who is the Spirit. I'm going to call this the sanctification verse. We see the glory of the Lord and we savor it. We behold the glory of the Lord and we become like Christ. As we experience more and more of Jesus Christ, we become more like Jesus Christ until that day when we see him, we will be like him. All right, we're going to see if these videos work.
Mute yours, if he doesn't use it.
Okay, mute mine.
No. You gotta keep everything.
Ask you.
Okay, somebody tell me what I'm supposed to do.
Wait for Ron to mute his speaker. Ron, mute. What do you?
mission, our vision, our purpose. Oh, yeah. You do that. I do that. Okay? All the way. That's good. Our target population is the same, those impacted by incarceration and addiction. The way we minister them is through the power, the gospel of Jesus Christ, and the support of the Glorybound family and the broader Christian family, which I will include the people in this room. Same thing with purpose, rebuilding broken families through Christ by support of our family and all the people that are involved in ministry. And once again, our vision, be a compassionate instrument for Christ-centered transformation of broken families through a holistic ministry of Bible teaching, lifestyle, and resources. We have to show Jesus Christ to these families so that they can see what does it mean to follow Christ? What does it mean to have a heart after Christ? Our core values, I could have put the fruit of the Spirit down on that. Most of you probably already know this, but think of the impact. And 95% of people in prison are men. Now, there may be a lot of women. We know at Shakopee and Waseca and treatment centers, there may be more women than the 5%. But you probably all know the impact that it has on the family. Diane mentioned the car crash, where a big person to the hospital and all of a sudden he's gone. So there could be, sometimes it's a girlfriend, sometimes it's a wife, and there's normally children. But what's the impact on the women? The loss, the shame, the guilt, grieving, financial burdens, resentment, uncertainty, not knowing whether to tell people that their boyfriend or husband is in prison, how will people think about them, how will they respond to them. Same thing about the children. Prison fellowship has a program called Angel Tree. Children with at least a parent in prison, and they are one of the highest at risk population of kids in the country. School problems, economic problems, depression, aggression. And when you are an Angel Tree child and your father comes back or your dad comes back, all of a sudden you're not back to what you were before. The impact of that is going to follow those children into adulthood and cause many problems unless we can reach the women, unless we can reach the children and help them, support them, assist them, encourage them.
So going up there. Have two children. I started Glorybound ministry. 18 years old. I was pregnant. I dropped out of high school. Kids 5 and 4. And I didn't know God, and I didn't know God. And I didn't know what, where, when, how he was gonna get me through everything I did. Sharon was.
I'm sorry, when Sharon's still on. We put this as a family manual that I've included on your handout, but basically, we want to encourage people. It's like Christ-like behavior. Encourage, don't criticize, respectful, responsible, accountable. And the last one, I think is a big, especially in the church and the Christian community, Matthew 18. If you have a grievance from someone in the Glorybound family, don't bring it up during the group. Go to them and share that with them. So I put together some assessments, and the idea is when they come in, we do an assessment, and I'll show you a little bit about that. And then every 6 months, the idea is that after 6 months, we sit down and say, look back, what has God done in your life? I think sometimes as Christians, we don't realize what's going on in our life and what God's doing unless somebody points it out. So that's what the tools are meant for. A spiritual assessment. You don't have to be a Christian to be part of Glorybound, but they're going to know it's Christ-centered and that we're going to be talking about God in the Bible. And then the Department of Human Services. So this Department of Human Services, when somebody's new, we'll give them a form and they'll go through and they will say like 1 to 4, household relationships, excellent, good, average, terrible. With everything else, we want the parent to talk about themselves so we get to know them better. The parents are also going to be asked to talk about their children, emotional, physical, educational, developmental. But is it possible that the mom would have more optimistic view of the child and what they're going through? Yes. So as Diane works with their children and gets a trust relationship built, she will ask them about these. And we may find when there's a discrepancy between what the child says and what the mom says. And that's an area that we can have some discussion. This is another testimonial. I'm not going to read it. But she talks about her life being changed forever, changed my life, blessed to have a relationship with God. I wouldn't be where I am today. I'll never be. Sharon was a lifesaver. And as Sharon would say, it's huge from New Jersey in my life. So, Christ-centered programs. That's a bad slide. I got to get rid of it. I'm going to skip David Miles. I missed it. Okay. Miss Diane.
So we meet the second and fourth Friday of each month. We were meeting before the pandemic every Friday. But since it's a new season, we're trying to get back going here. We decided the second and the fourth Friday. Families come in, they're provided a meal. We all sit together, we talk together, we ask if there are any prayer requests at that time. And after everybody lays out everything on the table, they have a card they can fill out. Because they man, I want everybody to know in the group. Maybe they just want me to know, but the pop to know. They fill out the prayer request sheets and then we split. Okay. I take the wonderful children. And as I said before, I am not the big person working with the adults.
Don't say that.
I don't work with adults, but God has blessed me to work with the children. I take the children, we do many activities and crafts and of course Bible study. The men go off and they meet, the women go off and they meet, and then once a month we all come together and we meet together. We do many types of activities. We've gone bowling. I take children to museums. We do all kinds of things with the families because we need to come back together and we need to learn how to work together. And that's why we try to go on outing every other month. We also do Thanksgiving baskets, Serenity Village. It's been huge with sending tons of food. The week before Thanksgiving, we do huge baskets, and not just, something for Thanksgiving. We do something for when the kids are out of school, for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The boxes are huge, but it's not about that. It's about just providing for these families because mom and dad may still have to go to work. Someone has to get out and, and they don't have maybe enough food for the rest of the week. So we do these baskets. At Christmas time, we have people who donate all types of Christmas gifts to us. We do a list. And we ask the parents, what do your children want? Ask your children, what do they want? What do they really need? And then we have donors who donate all kinds of gifts. And we put the gifts together and the families come in and we provide gifts. We have a party, whatever, and all that stuff. Okay. And like I said, we do men and women's events, we've gone to concerts together. We've done so many things, bowling, all kinds of stuff. But we want the families to know that they're supported, not just in one area, but in all areas. And that's what we do on Friday nights.
I got 2 slides left.
Can I say something?
Oh, please, please.
On Friday night, we decided to do it on Friday nights because we felt like when you're out on the street, what do? Go to the club, you go to the bar, you go out and party with your friends. But if you're meeting on Friday nights, and people are surrounding you with love and care and food and all kinds of good stuff, then you don't need to go to the bar. You don't need to go to the club. And that's why we do the activities on Saturday. So we can continue on Saturday, doing activities with the family and then inviting them to go to church. I'm done.
Okay, thanks. I left off the most important item on this list, which is families. As I said, we're reaching beyond Miss Adulting Challenge. We're looking at Prison Fellowship Academy, at Metro Hope, at Life Rebuilders. But that's who we minister to. And so we're looking for organizations that might have people. And here's the difficult thing for our ministry. We were at Prison Fellowship Academy, spoke to about 200 guys. Afterwards, Chris Salmon, the director, said, how many of you are interested potentially in getting your families involved with Glorybound? About a third of them did. Here's the trouble. For some of these men, their wives have protective orders against them. They say, I don't want to see you, and I'm here for you, and I don't want to ever get near you. Another group of men have wives that are skeptical and hopeful. And then the blessed guys have wives who have supported them through all of their junk and all of their crap. But we have to ask the men to contact the women. And depending upon the relationship the man has with the wife, she may say, forget it, I don't care. What are you trying to push down this stuff, push this stuff on me? So we are solely donor driven. Once we get the assessment going, we'll start looking for grants. People bringing Friday night meals, resources. So glad that Matthew, I met and found out about his resources. United Minnesota, R3. Mentors, I should put down navigators because I'm thrilled with what Rain is doing. It's exactly my model of ministry. Someone that builds a trustful, long-term relationship with the family, learns about their needs, knows what the resources are, and connects them together and supports them during the whole process. And we used to have a summer camp, and we need a van.
Can I talk a little bit about the summer camp?
Yes, please.
We only charged them $50 for the whole 6 weeks. Because they didn't have any money and they were struggling. I ran a summer program. We met at 8 o'clock in the morning to 4:30 in the afternoon. And I was there most nights until 6 because parents, they were going on. But that program was such a blessing, not to the different kids and families, but to me as well. Because they got to know about the love of Jesus Christ, do activities, be with other children, to socialize and have fun. That's what it was all about. Yes, it's all about Jesus Christ, but it was all about bringing these children together. And we had to sell our van. So that's why van.
What size van?
15 passengers. I've had anywhere from age 3 to age 17 in camp. And how do we make that work? I don't know, by the grace of God. But it worked. And like I said, it was
So let me get back here. Okay, the last thing I'll mention, you've got a brochure there, but every year we fundraiser, we do a golf tournament. So I would encourage you, if you golf or know golfers, you at least let them know about that. And they have all kinds of raffles and prizes like the closest putt or all kinds of things. Any questions that you have for either Diane or myself?
Real quick, where are you guys located? Where do you gather on Fridays?
we gather at Brooklyn Park at Revive Church, and they've actually been allowing us to do that for free since I've been here.
So the address is right on this 7849 West Broadway.
And we meet at 6 p.m. and we're there until about 9. And it used to be 9:30, 10 o'clock. That was my sister. She liked to talk. And not that I don't like to talk, but I did that for years for the state of Jersey. Didn't want to do it now, but we're done by now.
Is that where you do the summer camp too?
Yes, yes.
Anybody else? Waiting for this, the teaser. That John kept, oh, now, why did she leave? You told her about the special food.
She has a food issue. That's why we understand that there are some food requirements. I'm gluten free, so if I eat wheat, it's like food poisoning. So we want to be respectful to everybody in their food and sure want to accommodate fellowship. Really what this is, all about, breaking bread and sharing what's going on, how our Lord is working and be part. So we're glad that we're able to do that. So we will be respectful, but yeah, she's it's a food thing.
So you've got a golf brochure, and then you've got the family manual that talks about us. It's got our statement of faith, requirements of the family, things like that. So
Bob, I want to connect you with, we, in Scott County, we received a 1.5 million grant. We're closing on a fourplex for families on October 6th, October 4th.
Where in Scott County, may I ask you, John?
What?
Where in Scott County?
Shocking.
So that's where I live.
I know.
Okay.
That's why I'm announcing it, because
All right.
really, the only thing that's holding us up, waiting on the county.
You might want to share the PowerPoint.
Okay.
Bob and Diane,
You'll hear more.
right now for you, for an organization and for anybody in this room that works with families. There's an organization in town called Tickets for Kids. And they'll give you free tickets to be able to take these families on events.
Okay.
They get donations from the Twins, they get,
Timberwolves.
yeah, I mean, they get donations for anything and everything. So I'm making an introduction right now for you to get to know Susan Murray. She's fantastic. If anybody else wants to know her, happy to make introductions, but they do a really nice job if you're doing programming for families. And they will support you and get you free tickets.
well, thank you for the opportunity. to share.
Let's continue the discussion after we have a pizza.
Pizza, pizza.
No invitation needed.